12th of January, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
My first.
I do it
Good
again.
morning.
Shalom Aleichem, Rebbe Amari.
Morning, Luke. Good morning, Rook. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Barry. How's everyone today?
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Okay. I'm not sure if you got the recent email I just sent out a little while ago with the new
Yeah,
document.
I sent it just now. So
Beautiful.
I don't know, Roy.
Thank you.
Roy, you probably didn't see it yet.
No, what is it?
The new email I just sent about 5 minutes ago.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna put it on the screen, so hopefully it'll be up in the two as a sham paste. Okay. Okay, it'll be coming up on the screen in a moment, and we'll all be together one way or the other. And,
What do you mean by that?
well, we'll either be intellectually together or digitally together or
Well, both.
spiritually together.
All three.
All three, hopefully.
Mm.
Okay, let's see if it'll come up on the screen here. This is a follow-up of if you remember, we started discussing about the Maimer Rabbi Akiva, and the Maharal introduced the concept of the of schok being synonymous with erva, and one of the proofs was was Avimelech, that he was what the Torah said, mischachek with Rivka. So now the Maharal and Chumash goes into that a little bit, which we'll see. It should be coming up on your screen if it's not there already. But now it should be in big print. Yeah, very good. Do you see it and do you have it? And if so, we can begin. If anyone like to read?
Okay, I'd like to read.
Okay, now again, this is going on a Rashi. Let me just give a preface to this. This is going on Rashi. Rashi said by that the pasuk describes how Abimelech saw Yitzchak was misachek with Rivka, and Rashi says right, Shiro. That's what it says over there. Gor Aryeh Bereshis Chav Vav pasuk Ches. And this is a quote of Rashi, which is a Chazal. Shiro Mishamish Mitaso. He saw them having marital relations. Okay, and we shouldn't. Look. I don't have to go and give any stamp of righteousness to Avimelech, but nevertheless, he was on the assumption that Rivka was the sister of Yitzchak, right? So he had no intention of being a peeping Tom. He didn't expect to, maybe at best they would be playing checkers or chess or Monopoly or something like that, but or say Tehillim, but he didn't expect to see them acting as husband and wife, because he was under the impression they were brother and sister, correct?
Yeah, but we still don't understand why he was peeping through their window.
Well, because he was very interested in Rivka, right? He was very interested in Rivka. If she was available, right? If she was available, he would like to have her as a wife, or as one of his many. He was a king. He probably had many wives. As a matter of fact, you should know why is his name. Excuse me. Why is his name Avi Melech? It's a combination of two words. The word Avi, my father, Melech, the king. Because you should know He should know the rule was in his territory, he was the king. Any woman that was about to get married, he had to live. They had to live with him before they could get married. So it could be no one would ever really know if their father was the king or not. Maybe Avimelech was the real king. So they call him Avimelech, my father the king.
So actually, that could be a generic name.
Could be. You're right. That's right.
Or a genetic name.
Genetic, right? Very good. That's true, Lou. Very good. Okay, so this is Rashi's Shiro Mishamish Mitasa. He saw that Yitzchak and Rivka were having marital husband and wifely relations. Let's see.
De'im lo kain, mina yada shehi ishto. And if not so, from where do we know that she was his wife?
Yeah, well, where would he know? Where would Avimelech know that Rivka was the wife of Yitzchak? Obviously, right? Because then after that, he accused Yitzchak of saying, "What is this? You're telling me he's the sister? It turns out he's her wife. How could he accuse him of saying she's really his wife if he didn't see the actual proof that they were husband and wife?"
Right. So this sentence is coming to support the notion that he saw them.
Yeah, for sure. The pasuk says he saw them. The moral is explaining why it's necessary that we have to be told that he actually saw them having relations, because he has to have. The Torah wants us to know why he was able to make the accusation to Yitzchak. What is this? Your sister? This is not your sister. This is your wife. How could he possibly make such a statement unless he definitively knew that Rivka was the wife of Yitzchak? Okay. Oh. Hey, Lomer, don't try and say,
I've got Barry on the phone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, we're everything is normal here, and I have not seen you try to connect. I do not see you trying to connect. So you better go out and come in again. Okay. Okay, that was Barry. He's having trouble connecting.
Tell him he has to pay his Chinaman on the other side of the moon.
Okay.
You just have to pay them. They work for bowls of rice up there. They don't give them too much to eat.
They're boycotting his connection.
Okay, Bez Hashem, I'll tune in. Okay, so let's see further in the moral.
The Ein Lomar Sheroeh Nishka V'Chabaka Kushis Harambam. So we don't say that he saw what is nishka, kissing?
Nishuka v'chibika, kissing and hugging. Don't say that he saw them just kissing and hugging. Don't say that. Right? Which is as he put as he put in the parentheses kushus ra'aim. That's the ra'aim. One of the Meforshim on Rashi asked this question: why do you have to say that he actually saw them having relations? He could say, why couldn't you say that he saw them kissing and hugging? The moral says, don't say that. That's not. You can't say that he just saw them kissing and hugging.
Okay. Chada mitzchok kasiv. Because it's written that they were playing, they were schoking, they were levity,
Jesting.
they were jesting. Velo nikra mitzchok rak mishamesh mitaso. And it only uses the phrase jesting when there's married relations.
Right.
So that's that's a little bit surprising to me, because we've been taking jesting to have to do with the actions of the person,
Right.
not the action of relations, but the actions before relations.
You're right. But the word, when the Torah uses the word misachek, that's a reference to Tashmish Hamish. And that's what we were explaining there. That the act of, or the behavior of schok, of jesting, will bring a person to relations, right? And the one way you know that is because the Torah, when it wants to refer to Tashmish Mitzvah, it uses this word mischachek.
Right. So so I was understanding that what Avimelech saw was them playing around. Now I'm understanding that he saw them actually in the act of relations.
Well, that's what Rashi says. Those are the first. Look by the ches, the first line, the ches shiro mishamish mitaso. That's a quote from Rashi.
Right, but that's not what the Torah says.
No, but that's the whole point. The point is, when the Torah uses the word misachek, it's referring to Tashmish Mitzvah.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, that you're following, Lou. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay.
Kidikasiv, as it is written, by Rebbe Lechanel Lehalan. It's written above, Lehalan above.
It says Kidiksiv, and he says Raw Lahalan. See, Lahalan is further on. Take a look further on. This is in Pierke Chaf Vav, right? So it says, take a look in Bereshis Lamed Tes, right? Pasuk Yudalet. This is another quote we learned. This is the same quote we had before about Aishas Potiphar, right?
Right. Havi lanu ha eved ivri litzchok banu. He brings to us a Hebrew servant to jest with us.
Right.
Now, in this case, the jesting is not referring to relations, because there were no relations.
Well, I mean, but that's what she was getting at. She accused him. That was her whole accusation.
She's accusing him of trying to have relations with her, not of lewd conduct.
Right. That's what it was. That's what it was leading up to.
Misham Perush Shamish. And this is the explanation of relations.
Well, yeah, this, that's what it means. Visham perish litashmish. And over there it's explained what did Ashes Potiphar mean, that you brought us this Jewish slave to not simply jest with us, but Sham Perush, the explanation over there is Latashmi. She was telling her husband, what, you brought this Jewish slave in that he should be a gigolo for us.
Right. She'amra she'rotze l'shamesh ima. That she said that he wanted to have relations with us, with ima, with me.
Right.
V'od de kalos rosh kazeh lo haya no hag Yitzchak. And furthermore, lightheadedness like this is not the custom of Yitzchak.
No, that's the old kalas rosh kazeh lo haya noig Yitzchak, meaning Yitzchak would not simply be frivolous for no reason whatsoever. You can't say that was simply joking around with Rivka. You know, they weren't. I have one of the books we have in our bathroom. It's 400 very, very funny jokes. Right? I have a book in the bathroom, something to read sometimes. So it's so I don't know where we picked it up. 400 very, very funny jokes. About a third of them are elephant jokes. You know, well, for example, why did the elephant climb the stairs? He couldn't fit into the elevator. So, anyway, so Yitzchak wasn't a person to sit around telling jokes to Rivka. You know, that wasn't that. You know, that's not. You know, you're talking about the Avos or Gadoshim, right? So you can't explain that the word Sachek by Yitzchak. It was just simply they were jesting around together without any purpose in mind, right? So that's obviously it means the more deeper, profound meaning, which means tashmish.
Right. Okay. So, what he's saying is that joking around is not the customary behavior of Yitzchak.
Right. Exactly.
Shaharei Amru Chachamim, that we see that the sages say, Al tirva sicha im ha'isha be ishto amro.
Right.
So do not. What is tivra? Tirva?
Al taharbe sika ima isha beishtu amru. I mean, a person shouldn't talk too much with a woman, and that's referring to his even his own wife.
Okay.
So he's bringing this Maimer and Avos as a proof that Yitzchak would not simply be jesting around, joking, literally just joking around with Rivka. It wouldn't happen, because as I'll say, a person shouldn't get overly involved with light things with his wife.
Oh, I see. This is a raya.
Right.
V'chol shechein bikolos rosh b'chavok unesok. Here comes Barry. Okay, so it's logical with kolos is voices.
That's kalos rosh. Kalos rosh.
Oh, but kalos rosh. It's logical that kalos rosh.
But culture get even more so. Meaning, Chazal teach us, right? You shouldn't even have long, mundane, unproductive conversations with a woman, and that's referring to a person's own wife. Culture you shouldn't get involved with kalos rosh, bechibuk v'nishuk, simple lightheadedness and kissing and hugging and kissing.
Just a second, Barry. Look at your email. I sent an email out with the thing that we're reading. I sent it out about 9 o'clock.
He's frozen.
Oh, okay. So, hugging and kissing. You shouldn't be involved in hugging and kissing unless you are involved in relations.
Right. They're not something in and of themselves. They should lead to the consummation of the marriage.
Okay, so it's even more so. Let's see. You shouldn't be talking excessively with your wife. Even more so, you shouldn't be lightheaded and kissing and hugging. Oh, unless it's with you're actually doing the act.
Right.
In which case it is appropriate.
Right.
Barry, did you hear me about the handout?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't. I just got on.
Check your email. I sent an email out at 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, I got that one. Yes.
That's what we're reading.
Okay, thank you.
Uma.
I'm having internet problems here. Okay.
Okay.
Uma she haya mashmesh mitaso biyom. And what is it that they're having relations in the day?
Right. We asked this question, man, that if Avimelech could see through the window, obviously it was daytime because in those days, when it was dark, it was really dark, if it's dark and you're not supposed to have relations by candlelight or any other type of light.
Okay, so the Kaimalan b'meseches Shabbos b'perech Rabbi Akiva, and we established it in the Gemara in Shabbos, the chapter of Rabbi Akiva.
Right, and it's the Pierke, which is called Rabbi Akiva. Right.
Talmid Chacham may feel bitaliso.
Oh, so even though, right, you're not supposed to have tashmish amida during the daytime, but a Talmid Chacham can have relations during the day by putting a talis over them and covering themselves up, so you shouldn't be seen. So Yitzchak was doing this. So Yitzchak was doing the same thing.
So what Avimelech saw was that they were under a talus?
Yes, apparently, yeah. Apparently.
Okay, Rabbi Ovadia.
Oh. Right, so that was the Maharam in Prague. Okay, so now this is the Rav Avadia Bartanura. That you may be familiar with his parish to Mishnayos. They're known as the Rav or the Rav Bartanura, but he also has a parish on Chumash based on the commentary of Rashi on Chumash. So he's commenting on Rashi's commentary.
Okay, so maybe before we start that one, we can maybe we can summarize the previous one.
Right, sure. That
So when it says that he saw marital relations, it doesn't mean that he saw them hugging and kissing.
right. It means that he actually saw them having relations, and he proved because the pasuk refers to it as tzachok, which he brought two proofs that that word is synonymous to having relations, and you may be concerned that that it was during the day, and because he had to be able to see something. So then we understand from the Gemara and Shabbos, Perak Rabbi Akiva, that the Talmud Chacham would be allowed to have relations if he covers himself with a talus or some kind of garment or sheets, whatever it may be. So that's how Avimelech could have seen them, and he could have seen it during the day.
So all this is just to prove that when it says schok, it's referring to relations.
Right.
Okay.
But isn't it true? Isn't it true in general that husbands and wives should not have relations during the day? It should be at night when it and very private circumstances.
That's right, but that's the proof that the Maharal brings from the Gemara and Shabbos. That's in general, but a Talmud Chacham is allowed to do it during the daytime if he covers himself with a talus or with a sheet or some other garment. So there's an exception for Talmidei Chachamim.
Oh, okay, there's an exception. I see.
The reason why people are not supposed to have relations during the day is because in the daytime where it's light, a person may come to look at something. Normally, the act is done without any clothes on, so a person may come to look and see the normally covered parts of the body that are now uncovered, and he might see something that's unsightly, and that would cause him to feel less than desirable, and may not be able to be so enthused about fulfilling the mitzvah of L'Orav Torecha Chamocha. So therefore, it's in general, the act is usually only done at nighttime where it's dark, and it should be dark, and therefore you don't have to worry about people coming and seeing things they shouldn't see. But a Talmud Chacham, who is normally even in the daytime, we're not worried that he's going to come to look. So if he puts a talus over themselves, then it would be okay even during the daytime.
Okay. Vayish Kaf Avimelech Rohu Mashmesh Mitaso.
Right.
So Avimelech saw them having relations. What is this word Vayishkaf?
Mishkaf meaning that he actually he gazed. He actually peered. He peered.
Okay, so Avimelech peered and saw them having relations. Kasha, mina lo. So we ask, where was he?
Meaning from where, meaning the question is on Rashi, from where does Rashi know that this was, that actually saw the Tashmi?
Okay, so we're asking the same question here.
Right. The Maharal answered, right? If you remember, the Maharal answered that the reason Rashi knew was because of the word, right?
Schok.
That Skok, and he, because he had to be, they make the acquisition, that Rivka was really his wife, so we would have to know through the seeing of the act of relations that she in fact was his wife.
Right, and it couldn't be anything else because Yitzhak wouldn't act that way.
Right, correct.
Okay, so Yesh Lomar Digamir lay mid Kasiv Vihane Yitzchak Mitzchok. Okay, so there is to say, or there is to answer. What is the gamir?
That Gamir is like you have to finish the this is where you learn it from. Gamir is like from Gemara, the limud. Yeshloma the Gamirle, he learns it from.
He learns it from that which is written, and behold, Yitzchak was jesting. Vehu lashon erva, and this is an expression of sexuality. Ke de amar leYitzchak b, that it is said about Yitzchak.
That meaning he said that it's lashon erva. Hina Yitzchak, right? Yitzchak mitzachek hu lashon erva. Kida amrinin litzachek b. That was to say, he's bringing the same proof as from Ashes Potiphar. Right?
Right. As it says, to jest with us or with me.
Right.
Okay, as it says. Okay. Ukasha deim kain haya lo lis fosh milat mitzachok. And we can ask that if so, then he was what is Sephos?
That there is a litfos is to actually to litfos is to literally to seize hold of, but in this case, like it's like choose. In kain hayalu litfos milas mitzachek. If so, it should have been chosen the word mitzachek.
Okay, should have chosen the word mitzachek. Visham haya roy. What is this abbreviation?
And Roy La'omer, it should, and Shah, Roy La'omer, it was fit to say, Roy La'omer, it should have been fit to say,
Okay, so there it would have been fit to say V'ro hu mi shamesh mi tasso. It would have been fit to say that he saw them engaged in relations. Uma lo Omar, and that which it says, Devar zeh, this matter al milas vayish kaf, about the word that he gazed. A little lost with the sentence from Uma.
right? Uma lo La'omer, meaning it really should have said, Raw Mishamish Vitasa. It really should have said that Abimelech saw them having relations. Uma lo La'omer Davar zeh al milas v'yishkav. And why did it have to say this word? Now he's asking, why did he choose to use the word tzachek while in relationship to this Yashkif? Yashkif, he peered. It said he peered and he saw them jesting. It should have really said he peered and he saw them having relations. So why did it not use? Why did it not use that? So now the next paragraph explains why.
Okay. So in other words, it's saying you're going through all these logical mazes to prove that it was relations, but you can just straightforward, you can ask, if it was relations, why didn't it say it was relations?
Right, exactly.
Why is the Torah making us go through all of these mazes?
Right.
Yesh Lomar Rashi, there is to say that Rashi ata lit Ta'ameh Shapir Bikama Mikamos. There is to say that Rashi comes with a reason that it's appropriate in many places. Kol hashkafa she b'mikre
Good.
the ro'ah.
The raw, meaning that Rashi explains according the reason being perish. Rashi explains become a makomas. Rashi explains in many places. Call hashkafa. This expression of hashkafa shebemikra that's mentioned in the verses of the scriptures. The raw. It's usually something which is going to be the raw for evil of some sort.
So Rashi is explaining that this language of schok is usually for evil.
No, the expression yashkif or mashkif, as called hashkafa, the michal hashkafa should be mikveh. Anytime there's an expression in reference to peering or observing in the Torah, whenever that's used, it's usually going to be for raw, for something bad.
So doesn't hashkafa mean like philosophy or worldview?
That's exactly. I mean, it means view. It means a view. Hashkafa is a person's viewpoint. But it comes from the word in terms of the verb form. The verb form is hashkafa of peering, of looking into.
Oh, I see. I got it. Okay,
One's a noun and one's a verb.
right. Okay. Ve'ulai sachma.
Titma, ulai titma, there's a question from like bitmir, from it's like bitmir. Ulai, there's a question here.
Perhaps there's a question, Khan, here. My ra'ah ika.
Oh.
What evil is there?
Usually this word hashkafa is a expression which is connected to something bad happening or bad about to happen. So the question is, well, what was bad that was happening over here that it used this word in hashkafa?
Right. L'chach hakadim hikdim Rashi umay gam bechein yesh ra'a. What evil is there? And so I'm sorry. What hakdim is to begin?
Well, the hikdim is literally like preceded. Rashi therefore preceded, he preempted Rashi and said, Va'amar, he said,
And for Amar, and he said, Gam Bekain, also with this,
Bekan here, and also Bekan here, and also here.
Also here, Yesh Ra, there is evil. She Ra'uhu Mashmesh Mitaso, that he saw relations. Vizehu Lashon Verohu, and it's an expression of seeing. What is this abbreviation?
Right, Vav. He says he said Vizel Lashon Verohu with a Vav at the end. Vav Yisera, and there's a Vav extra here.
Oh, extra.
Vav Yisera, there's an extra Vav.
So because he put an extra vav on the word for seeing, klomar va'al sisma lilashon vayishkaf. It's as to say that it's not a question for the expression of yishkaf.
Right, so you shouldn't have a question. He put the vav there, right? So you shouldn't have the question about the lush and the expression v'yishkaf, because yishkaf usually is in reference to something bad happening. So with the vav, Rashi's explaining that there was in fact something that was what not so nice over here, and therefore the word yashkif is a proper word to use, which is a word used with things that are happening that are being seen, which are not nice, because he in fact saw them who were having their marital relations.
So what does yishkaf actually mean?
Yishkaf means peered.
Oh, peered. Okay, so it's with a negative connotation. Oh. Okay, so he says because there's an extra vav, it's to say that there's not a question that this is on this word yishkaf, that it has a negative connotation.
Right.
Shaharei rohu mashmish mitaso.
Mishamish mitaso. Mishamish mitaso.
Mishamesh
Them having relations.
mitaso And therefore, or we see that he saw relations. V'kasha eich haya Yitzchak mashmesh mitaso biyom. And
Right,
therefore, it's a question, how is it that Yitzchak was having relations in the day?
right. So that's why there was something bad here. There's a bad connotation here because there was a question, how was Yitzchak having relations during the day? Kilu he was doing something wrong.
Okay, Yesh Lomar, there is to say, in other words, the answer, Shechach, Schach, Amre, Chachamim, Talmid Chacham, me afil bit taliso umashmesh. And there is to answer, what is this word shchach?
That this word is that Shekach Amrina, that so is said, Chachamim, so say the meaning in the Gemara, so it's said in the Gemara.
So it's said in the Gemara that a Talmud Chacham he can cover himself with a talus and have relations.
Right.
Va'od kasha, and another question, eich haya mashmesh, how is it that he can have relations, mitaso, marital relations, bishnei rabot, ravon.
The question is another question here. How could Yitzchak have relations during years of famine? Don't forget, why did Yitzchak go down to the Eretz Philistine? Because there was famine, right? So he had to leave and go to Eretz Philistine. So the question is, there's a prohibition of having relations during years of famine. So that's the question. That's the next question he's dealing with. We'll have to stop now. We've gone a bit over time anyway. So we'll stop and we'll go into that tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem. Okay, very good. Thank you, Lou. That was very good reading. And we'll continue on in a few more minutes in the Shir Mishnah Berurah. We'll continue on with, we'll start now that Shuvah from Rav Moshe Feinstein, Bezos Hashem. Roy, have a good afternoon and hope to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Take care, Roy.
Yeah, I'll stay on here because we've got Rabbi Levitt on here too, haven't we?
Yes, we're going to have Rabbi Levitt on here, but I'm probably going to exit and come back in so that I can separate the recordings.
All right, so I'll go then. All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
See you later, Roy.
Bye. See you, man.